Good evening, men of High Points. Another Monday equipping men. We're going to dig right on into this, into these proverbs this evening. And as we look back over the last 9 weeks, we're in chapter 9 this week. We're reminded once again by Solomon how important wisdom is, and as he reiterates it and instructs us again, and he'll continue doing that through the remainder of Proverbs. The verse that spoke to me this evening was verse 10, and it says, "The fear of the Lord is the beginning of wisdom, and the knowledge of the Holy One is understanding." You know, when I read that, the fear of the Lord, I had my own definition of what the fear was. Shaking in my boots, just having this feeling within you that you're just so fearful that, you're just frightened. And that's not the fear that God's asking for. That's not the fear that Solomon is referring to here. If you look at the biblical term of what fear of the Lord means, it's a reverence, it's an awe of God, a complete submission to his rulership and control. And if you look at Psalms 33:8 specifically, it means to reject all other gods and to serve the only true God with all your heart and soul. Ask yourself, is he the only true God in your life? Is there anything above him in your life? How about your work? How about your hobbies? How about just, television in general, video games? Is there anything else in your life that comes before him? Money? How about money? Does money come before him? When I look at it in the perspective of reverence and true awe in God, it's easy to say, well, it's a lot like my parents. Yes, it is in that regard. Except there's nothing that comes before God. Nothing. And if there is, I would ask each and every one of you guys to evaluate your life. Evaluate what's important to you. And if you don't truly know what that is, just open up your bank account. See where all your money goes. That right there will define what's important in your life. Guys, that's all I got for you this evening. I just want to remind you guys that, or actually just give you a status report, if you will. No Zoom meeting this week. We will pick back up the next week, but it's going to be an in-person. We're going to go back to meeting together. I'll have a definite date and time. I'm leaning towards Wednesday night. I'm not sure if that's going to be available. This will be at the church. We'll practice social distancing. So we'll spread out, use the sanctuary there, and still be close enough where we can actually carry on a conversation and talk with one another. At the same time, I'm kicking around actually recording or something in that regards for the individuals that aren't able to make it can actually at least listen and participate in that regard. So I know with that said, guys, I pray that you are digging into your Proverbs, digging into the Word, and we'll pick this back up next Monday. Hoorah!